we're just going to head in. And we'll begin, as usual, with a bit of a scene. First thing that Zidane's going to suggest is that we form a party. We already know who I'm taking in. One person we can't take is Amaranth here. So we're just going to go ahead and let him go because he's going to go anyway. And I'm going to stick with the party that we chose just before we came into this place. And with that done, we can basically start by running up the steps here. So this is Ipsen's castle. And we're going to start by grabbing the chest here over on the side, which contains a dagger. And you're thinking, a dagger? Why is it containing a dagger? But all will be revealed. We're going to go over to the chest on the other side where there's another Stellario for us. This time in the form of the Aquarius. And then there's some steps here on the sides. We're going to run up those in order to enter the main section of the castle itself. So we have our Moogle here on the bottom of the screen. And we can do a bit of magnet with this little thing. We have a letter for him from Moki. Hey Kamal, how are you, Kupo? Us Moogles in Lindblum are all wondering the same thing these days. Where the heck is Mognet Central? No one knows, Kupo. Do you know where it is, Kamal? It's supposedly very far away and you can't enter very easily, Kupo. And for this we get a Kupo nut. And you can go ahead and use the Mog Shop here. Although, I don't think there's anything new at this point. But if you need to stock up on those softs, which I suggested you did before we entered, then you can still do so at the Moogle here. And now that I'm all saved, one thing you might have noticed that this Moogle sells weak weapons. And you're going to want to go ahead and equip each character's weakest weapon. Since the way this castle works is that while we're here, a weapon does more damage based on the smaller value of its stats rather than its largest values. So of course we did just loot the dagger, if you remember, from the entrance there. So we'll go ahead and equip that on Zidane. And the broadsword for Steiner is a really good option. And Quina does suffer a little bit in the fact that her weakest item, the fork, is still a little bit more powerful than the other characters. But it's the best we've got, it's got to be said. And we'll go ahead and equip the air racket, sorry, on Dagger there. I'm not sure how much of a difference it makes on Dagger being a magical character, but I think it's probably worth the effort just doing it anyway. And whatever characters you have, you can obviously do the same thing. And you can check the shop here as well, just to top up on any weapons that you might need. Right, so once we finish with the Moogle, we can head over to the chest here. and that will just have some cat's claws for us. And then that's all we need to do in this little section. We can head down this pole. It's interesting, we can go up or down, but we need to go down. Oh, that seemed fun, Fuzzy Dan. We need to head up this ladder. Just head through to the door here, which is pretty much the only place we can go to, as is the next door. And here we come to another ladder, so we're going to jump onto this, and if we climb up to the level above, we're going to jump off to the left. I believe there's another item for us to grab. If we just head on around. So there's items galore here. This time we get a javelin. So if you're using Freya, that should come of use for you. And for some reason, if you don't still have it, if we jump off the other side this time, to the right, we should get the weapon for Steiner in the form of a broadsword. And with that done, we can basically head down the ladder now, all the way down. And nothing to the left, which means we're just going to head around and up the steps. Remember, if you are using Queen like me and you've been doing the quest with the eating the frogs, then you can go ahead and use Frog Drop to hopefully dish out a nice amount of damage. And this guy has Doom, which is actually the final ability for Queen to learn. It has 7,000 hit points as well, so bear that in mind. We're going to go ahead and try and learn that here. So if we go and first of all I'll cast Frog Drop so you can see the kind of damage I'm talking about. Don't want to do any more damage with, see down there, oh that's annoying. So this is where the softs come in handy. I thought that was Petrify. All these status ailments do make learning a blue magic a little bit on the tricky side. It's stop that we're getting. So hopefully after this frog drop we'll be able to eat this. Wow, can you believe it? Literally for the first time I've ever played this game, it just crashed on me. Right in the middle of that battle with that... What was that thing called we were fighting? That one-eye thing. It just completely crashed out of nowhere, which is really annoying. So I need to get back to where I was, which means looting all these treasures again. I won't make you go through it with me. And I'll see you in a moment. Right, and I'm pretty much back exactly where I was, facing the same enemy again. So we're going to try that once more. And hopefully, yes, we've done it. I've learned Doom. I'm almost tempted to go back and save so that I don't have to experience that crash again, which is really quite irritating, but I'm going to risk it and we'll move on, I think. No, I'm going back to save. Right, so we finally make it all the way across and we're coming to a new ladder. We're just going to jump up here and go up. And as we make our way up, we should get the option to jump off. Oh, hang on, there is actually an item I think we missed, which I would like to grab. Probably just on the other side, to be honest. Yeah, there we go. It's the other item that was on the opposite side to the one we collected earlier on. And that's a rod. Which is for dagger here. So assuming it does actually make a difference for our magic characters to also equip the lower level weapons. And then we just can continue all the way up and through the next door. Right, first thing we do is examine the wall here. And we can get leave, examine or push. This is basically a puzzle. And what we want to do is press examine. We have to do this in the right order, so I need to make sure I get this right. We need to go examine, push, and now we can pound. Make sure you do it as I'm doing it. And now we can go to think. And now back to push. Pound. And this time we're going to try something drastic. And finally, we're going to rest. And it opens up for us. So, basically we did all that so we could access this chest, which contains a barrette. And now we can head back through the wall here. And head to this chain thing, which is in fact a lift to take us up. Right, when we're ready, we're going to head up to this mural section on the wall here, and we can start removing some of these weird things. We can get the fire mirror. The water mirror. And finally, the earth mirror. So it looks like we're all sorted. Nothing sinister is going to happen to us, right? On the other hand, it looks like there's somebody who's not best pleased with our intrusion here. So this is Tahaka. And Tahaka wants his mirrors back. So it's pretty much the usual stuff here with Tahaka. We're going to start by stealing with Zidane, mainly because this boss has a new dagger for Zidane, known as the Orichalcon, I think it's called. And we do want that. So he's actually susceptible to a few status ailments. We're going to go ahead and, well, I did want to send it to sleep, but I don't do it to all targets. So we can go ahead and cast Bad Breath, because it is susceptible to slow. Looking else, I don't think Bad Breath, but slow would be useful. And I guess we can throw a tent on it. If you can get it to go to sleep, then that would be wholly useful. Okay, I think we've already affected it with everything that Dagger can use now. So we've got some Mithril Claws. This guy has 30,000 hit points, by the way, so just bear that in mind when you're stealing. And this bio ability is actually quite damaging, isn't it? And I'm going to show you an interesting way to kill this fella in a couple of moments, once I've got what I want. Okay, I've stole the weapon that Zidane needed. I got it quite quickly, actually, so I can't remember if I got the elixir or not, which this guy's got. I probably did. But what we're going to do now is use Queener here. It's one of the reasons why I brought Queener with us, to be honest with you, to cast this ability known as Mustard Bomb. Mustard Bomb casts heat. So long as it hits, which it has, and it dies. It's that simple. So when Mustard Bomb hits a boss, which it does often, by the way, you can, pretty much cheese the encounter. If you don't want to use Mustard Bomb, then you can just start smacking it with your physical characters. And if you're using Dagger, then you can summon your Eidolons, such as Ifrit, for instance, and Bahama, of course. Right, now after all that, we're basically just going to head back to the Moogle first and foremost. Exactly the same way that we came. And just need to make our way to the pole. That is a strange sound. And looks like our characters are waiting for us. And what's this? What is Queener up to? So apparently we've activated some traps now. As you can see, there's a few just scattered around the place. we'll head to the Moogle and save. And now once we've saved, I did jump down the wrong trap by mistake. We need to head over, I think it's this trap here. This is another secret trap round here. No. Okay, so we're going to head down here because there should be an item we can grab. Yep. You probably saw that treasure chest a few times wondering how it was we were going to reach it. Well, there you go, you see, now you have your answer. And now we're going to head back to the entrance. Try and avoid these other traps, we don't need to fall down those. Woo, anytime soon anyway. Right now this time we can see a spiral staircase sort of in the centre here because we opened up the passageway earlier on, if you remember when we did that little puzzle. And now we're in this new area which we haven't actually seen before, at least this part of it. Well, actually, if we just pop back here a sec, we can see the chests up there that seem to be out of reach. So what we can do is just head back into that room with the Moogle, Kamul, and again just trying to avoid some of these trapdoors. We'll use this pole to climb up. And then we'll land next to these chests, which is pretty darn handy. From them we'll get a mage staff and a fork. And now we're going to head back to that staircase that we just unlocked. So Dan seemed a bit slide happy then. And we're just going to follow the path round now. And we grab the lift down, and that should get us another item. This time we get a Golem's flute. I did miss an item actually. Yep, just this chest over here. Air racket. And now we're going to head back down. And we actually have a bit of a puzzle thing going on here. You've probably seen that this is a little bit unusual. And I think all we need to do is move that to there. Okay, we need to put them in that position. There we go. I don't know what exactly happened when that one just disappeared then, but we got what we needed, which was the ancient aroma. The reason we needed that is because it teaches dagger here Odin's sword. So once she's, in fact, I'm not going to continue with auto life for now. We'll go ahead and equip that. It sounds exciting, doesn't it? But with that done, we're actually finished here because we've obviously done the story and we've collected all the treasures at this stage that we need to collect. So all we need to do now is start making our way back out of the castle. Where we can expect a scene, no doubt. And now we just need to be a little bit cautious because we are Zidane by himself. And we need to head back to the Moogle. We can save, of course. And we're just going to head on the pole here. Head down it. And we're looking for Amaranth. And if we head over to this area, which we haven't really been to because there's nowhere to actually go. And with Amaranth all back to his old self again, we can take the two of them and leave the castle once again. Right, so once again we need to basically equip everybody back to how they were before our little venture over to the castle. So we'll form our party and land. What a smooth landing. So we'll throw the new dagger on Zidane, which we collected from the boss, with a nice 71 attack power. And just boost everyone else back up as well. And with that done, we're going to actually leave the episode for today. So thanks ever so much for joining me, guys. And we're going to pick up next time as we begin to break the seal, but not until we've done a little bit of optional stuff now that we're back on the world map, although not much, I promise you. So I hope you'll look forward to that, and don't forget to hit the like button if you've enjoyed the help I've brought to you in this episode. And please, if you are enjoying this walkthrough, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And I'll see you soon as we carry on with more Final Fantasy IX. Bye all, take care.